Hey everybody, welcome back to Still Can't Cook. I am your host, Kelley Fahey. I'm super excited about today's guest. A very dear friend of mine is coming on the show. You might recognize her from her roles in Survival of the Thickest, Bad Boys 4, or Why Did I Get Married? She's also a director. She's done episodes of The Equalizer, Mayor of Kingston, and she shot the pilot for BMF. My guest today is the one and only Tasha Smith.
Kelley!
I'm freaking out that you're here.
I'm happy I'm here.
I'm super
And
excited.
I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm just like, this was like a dream that is now manifested.
It's crazy.
And you're doing an incredible job.
Thank you
I'm
very
just,
much.
I love it. You know, you're doing what you do every day. Run your mouth.
Says her. Stay tuned, people.
And I love every bit of it. Okay.
So one of the things we talk about, one of my first section is always how we know each other, how you know me, how we met.
Yes.
You want to tell your version of how we met?
You know, my version of the story is every time I would be with Dave and Elaine, I would be like, who's Elaine's cool ass white girl, okay? That's always dressed so fly. I was like, I needed to know you. One time, the first time I remember seeing you, you had this white blazer, these jean shorts, and these cool
I know
boots. And I was like, man, I mean, the outfit was so cute. I think I like did it like myself. I like put an outfit together one day that was just like that outfit. I just always thought you were so cool, and you always made sure that Dave had the best parties ever. Like, you ran it. Like, I loved it. I loved
Amazing.
it.
For me, same thing. It was a name that I knew. I had met your sister first.
Yes.
And I had kept hearing about you, and I was like, at some point, like, where, but it was everything. Oh, that's so Tasha. Oh, you're so Tasha. That's so Tasha. And I was like, who is, like, where is this Tasha?
Right.
And then when we finally met,
Yes.
which I think is crazy. You know, Tasha, I think that was only 3 years ago.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. Like, we had, again, been in the same space, but it was like me and you together. I think it was in Ohio.
Yes.
Where we actually hung out. But same thing. You're like, what jacket is that? Where's those pants from?
Right. And it's funny how after we got a chance to know each other, we felt like we were versions of each other.
Yeah.
You know, and then Dave started calling us, I'm the white Kelley, I'm the black Kelley, and you're the white Tasha.
Black Kelley,
okay.
right. You're the black Kelley. He would always say, that's so black Kelley. That's so black Kelley. And I'm like, the white Tasha. Yeah. So we had this like circle of friends, still the same group of friends. And I'd hear about you, and you're, you know, doing all these crazy things, and I didn't know you well. And then I got to know you, and we had that one night when we went out, if you remember, we went to Lure, and we sat, and our stories were like, even though it was Jersey and New York,
Yes.
we had the same, born the same year.
Yes.
All the same things, same kind of growing up, same kind of struggles, different types, but still we had such a similar story.
Yes.
And then we just were like, done. That was it. We met, we fell in love.
Yes,
And then,
fell in love. And what I love about you, Kelley, is that you're such a dedicated, like, good friend. Like, you're always there for all of us. Like, you're like the Ray Donovan of friendships. I don't know if people remember that show.
let's hope they didn't watch
But,
it.
and I don't know how people that know that show, how they'll take it.
Right.
But you're the fixer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like the fixer. You're the connector. You know what I mean? You're like the friend concierge.
Yeah, and I love it. What's funny is I had people who don't know that, like who know me and are like, I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, it bothers me when you don't ask.
Yes.
Ask me where to eat.
Yes.
Ask me how that shirt looks with those pants.
Yes.
That gets me off. It gets me really excited to be like,
Yes.
oh yeah, and go to this hotel and da-da-da and meet this. And I love connecting people and making relationships.
Yes.
But yeah,
and it's
great.
beautiful. And that is what I love to do. And I feel like that was something that we had in common.
Yeah, super.
Just honestly, sincerely looking out for the people around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, there's this saying that says, if you want a friend, show yourself friendly. And you're the epitome of a person that's always showing yourself friendly, just always kind and loving.
Oh, I know some
to
people that said
everyone.
no.
No, but guess what? But
They
but
deserve it, though.
Guess
They
what?
deserve
Like,
it.
and I always say, as nice as I am,
Yes.
is as nice as I'm not.
Yes.
Like, we'll be nice until we're not nice.
Yes.
And it has to be someone to provoke that.
It's definitely never my fault.
You know, and I know it's not my fault, honey. Okay.
Thank God we never fought with each other that day. It would never end. But when you had a little bit more free time, we were FaceTiming constantly.
Yes.
And I'd be like, I got to pour wine. I got to call Tasha. And I was
Yes.
going through some stuff. I have a lot of stories with on again, off again. I would call you.
Yes.
And you've just been a voice of reason. And you give great advice. And I know we don't, I give great advice too. I don't follow any of it.
You really do.
But then if I don't know, I just chat GPT it.
Right.
I'm like, how do I say? But no, one of my things with you is like really going through, because when we first really got tight was in the beginning of my breakup.
Yes.
And so I would call and we would talk, and you were very helpful and you talked me through it. You were great.
You know,
you still are great.
It's so, you know what's so deep is that I know that both of us are the same as far as always there for other people. And when you pour out so much to everyone else, sometimes you need somebody to pour into you.
Mm-hmm. That's why you have your girlfriends.
Know, I mean, seriously. And sometimes we need good, smart friend group to help us through situations. And what I love about you is that you're always honest, you're always transparent, and you don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which I feel like some of us
Doesn't mean I make better choices.
No, but
let me just be clear.
But I think that sometimes we make the choices we make out of our desire to love and to be loved, because that's what we want at the end of the day. Like, we intentionally want to love people, and we intentionally want love in return. And sometimes in relationships, we don't always get the love in return that we desire. You know what I mean? But I feel like On Again and Off Again is on again.
We're in between again right now.
Well, as long as he's treating you good, you know what I mean? And you're not denying yourself. And what do I mean by that? Like, whatever it is that I feel like we need in a relationship, sometimes we'll put ourselves last and only service what that relationship needs. And we deny ourselves of the things that we need in a relationship. And sometimes I feel like us women are a little nervous to say that and to vocalize what's important to us in relationship out of our fear of losing it. But I feel like we should be willing to lose it as long as we're honest with ourselves and not denying ourselves for someone else's happiness. Does that make sense?
It does, but don't you think, honestly, this is something that you've learned later? Like, don't you feel like, I feel the same way now. I used to be afraid to say what I needed, because if it didn't get met and I stayed, I looked like a fool. So I wouldn't say it. Because I knew it wasn't there. So I just wouldn't speak it. I wasn't. I think part of the things you were saying about me being honest is I really do know what's not there. What I can expect, what I can't expect. And sometimes they're just not able to give certain things. And I'm clear on that. And if I'm not, you remind me. There's certain things but I think it comes with growth and aging and just getting settled in yourself. You're like, oh, you know what? No, I really do need this. And who am I spiting if I don't say it?
Exactly.
It used to be like, oh, I don't want to upset him. I don't want to upset her. I don't want to upset my friend group. Like, now we talk very honestly with each other. It's imperative that we do that, especially women. And we have that. I mean, you know, I know your other friends that I don't know very well, but the girls that we share in common, the women that we have, honest.
Honest. And to not allow fear to rule and reign in how we do relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because that's sometimes, I feel like the older we get, the less fear we have, because we don't care anymore about, you know, being accepted or someone else having to validate how we feel and how we see things. Like, us being more at peace with ourselves. And that's one of the blessings I feel that comes with age, is that you have more peace with who you are and you accept you and what you need, which helps determine the choices that we make when it comes to relationships.
See, I was going to ask, when it comes to friendships now, you know, especially it's twofold for you. Being 50, smart enough now to make better choices than you did, say, your 30s and 40s. Also, super famous. Is it difficult for you now to navigate a new friendship?
You know, it is. Honestly, it is. I used to say, no new friends. You know what I mean?
But you can't really take the chance.
It is difficult. And sometimes you don't know what the intention of people would be. You know what I'm saying? So there was a time where I was like being everybody's friend, trying to be the nice person all the time. But now I'd rather invest in the circle that I have instead of putting more on my plate, because sometimes it does get exhausting, because sometimes like new friends, I feel sometimes expect more from you than the friends that you've had for a long time. You know how like if you and I cancel something with each other, we're not pissed.
Yeah.
You know, if something comes up and it's like, you know what, I can't make it today, you give grace. Like to me, more seasoned friendships give more grace, but newer friendships sometimes I feel require so much more, and don't give enough grace and don't give enough mercy, and they get mad at you when you can't show up. So I'd rather just say, I don't want to like deeply engage like that, because I don't want to disappoint people, but I know I can't say yes to everything that people expect of me because of schedule, because sometimes I also need to give to myself. And Kelley, you know this, like we're very busy, right? So when you do have time, you can't just fill it up all the time servicing everyone else's needs. Sometimes you need time to yourself, and sometimes you need time to just regroup, to pray, to meditate, to fill your cup back up so that you can go out and give more to the world. And I'm learning that like in my 50s to take more time to myself, and that I don't have to say yes to everything. And sometimes I need to say yes to Tasha. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I think that it's, something that I see on, again, not being the famous one, I do see people don't understand how busy you are, and don't understand when you can't answer the phone, don't understand where the text message doesn't get answered.
Yes.
I know, you just know you need a minute, and you're going so much, so often, nonstop now, you got a gazillion things going on, that you have to stop and take a moment for yourself.
Yeah.
But the one thing about you is that you have been so supportive. As busy as you are, you show up for me. Here you are today. But what people don't know is on my first episode, you were here supporting me as a director / friend support. Told me some, gave me some direction on what to do and how to like get my points across, slow down. But you did say one thing that really, it was important to me, because I was scared. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you said, you need to bet on yourself.
Yes.
You said, bet on yourself.
Yes.
And you said that there was a point where you knew you could bet on yourself.
Yes.
You took a chance.
Yes.
And can you talk to me about that?
Yes.
Like how it worked and what happened with your career when you knew you could?
And I'll say this on what you said, because a lot of times we will bet on everyone else's dream except our own. We will motivate everyone else's dream except our own. We will pour into everyone else's dream except our own. And that's something that I always saw with you. You were constantly making sure everyone else's dream would come true. And I am so happy that you're now pouring into your own dream and betting on yourself. And that happened with me as a director, as an acting teacher. I have an acting school, and I'm so proud of my acting school, Tasha Smith Actors Workshop. I'm just T-Saw. I'm so proud of it, because I remember I had this passion to teach acting, because I really did want to pour into other people, right? And I remember I had this manager that thought it was so ridiculous to worry about other people's, acting career.
It's so who you are.
Sis, but me pouring into someone else's dream was also me pouring into my own. It was like a seed. I felt like I was sowing a seed into someone else's life based on what it was I desired for my own. Me betting on myself to be able to empower other people to pursue their purpose in the arts empowered me to pursue my dream as a director. I feel like some of the best training that I got as a director came through teaching acting. And even when I was nervous and I was afraid, and I said, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself now. I ended up going to USC to do this summer program, director's program. I spent a lot of money on it. And then I decided to take the script that I wrote through that program to direct my short outside of the program because I was so nervous because it was so many young people in there, right? I was like, oh my God, I don't want them to mess up my movie. You know what I mean? So I went and I hired a producer. I hired a DP. I bet on myself. I think I spent like about $30,000 of my own money to direct my short film. Mm-hmm. But when I put up the $30,000, there was a company that was supported mental health awareness because my first movie was about a young Black man dealing with bipolar disorder, right? That company ended up giving me $15,000. So my short film, I was able to shoot for $45,000 and 30 again of that being out of my own money. Mm-hmm. But that was a seed into my career as a director. So that $30,000 I put into my career now has turned into several episodes of television, you know, from directing shows like 911 with my BFF Angela Bassett to directing P-Valley to directing the pilot of BMF and produced the whole series to going off to directing Mayor of Kingstown to directing my sister Dana, you know, Queen Latifah in The Equalizer to doing fun cop shows like The Rookie to directing fun comedies like Harlem. I got a chance to direct my sister Megan Good and then to direct myself in the series that I'm on called Survival of the Thickest. You know, so that one seed of me betting on myself has turned into all of these other things. And you know what, sis? And can I tell you?
I need that seed too.
But you know what's so beautiful about a seed? When you think about it, it goes in the ground one way and it comes up into many different things. Yeah. You have the root, you have the vine, you have the different vines that are spread out. Like, look at that beautiful plant behind you. It started with one seed and now it's growing. But imagine if there was actual fruit on that, right? Yeah. You have fruit like that could just feed many different people. It just goes in the ground one way and it comes up in many different ways. And I'm just grateful to have faith in myself to sow the seed. You had faith in yourself to sow the seed. And I'm just excited for your podcast. I'm excited for God to bless it. I'm excited for God to continue to bless my directing career, you know, my acting career, but it all starts with the seed. It's so interesting how, you know, we have potential. All of us are born with potential, right? We are born with potential, but we have to go out and we have to work and be responsible for the potential that we have.
It's a hard moment, and you were younger, you know, you were younger when you made the choice and you bet on yourself and you were correct. You made all the right choices, clearly. You know, sitting in my 50s going like, what am I doing? Should I write this check? And having people who took the chance, one of, you know, who said, yes, you're doing the right thing, and take the chance, trust yourself. And you did that, and it wasn't something, I didn't see this for myself. I saw a lot of things, but this just feels right now. Did you always know you wanted to be in the entertainment industry? Did you know?
Honestly, sis, it was a dream. It was like my grandfather, I don't know if you know this, but our grandfather was an actor. He was a stunt man, and he did like a lot of background work, and he was also the concierge for the Temptations. And so when we were kids, my mom would let us go visit our grandfather, you know, and he was in the movie business. And sometimes like we would be at home looking at TV. He'd be on Taxi, you know, cool. But he was like in background. But when we saw him, we were like, oh my God, that's our granddaddy. You know what I mean? And so it was like me seeing him do that. It was a dream that I had that honestly, I didn't really have a lot of faith in myself or a lot of confidence in thinking I could do it, but it was a dream. It was something that I just had this fantasy about. And I always say this, that I came to know now that it wasn't just like a fantasy or like a figment of my imagination, but it was God showing me this is what I have for you if you pursue it and if you go after it and you work towards it. And the process of pursuing my dream, and the same with you, has been like a form of stretching, right?
Yeah.
Like every time we pursue something new and we go after something new, we're being stretched because we don't want to be mediocre. I was reading something in a book and it was talking about a rubber band's usefulness is based on its ability to stretch. That's how you utilize a rubber band, by stretching it. And us as people, we have to allow ourselves to be stretched. Like you were being stretched by doing your podcast. Yeah. I was being stretched by pursuing my career in directing. I was so scared. Kelley, I cannot tell you how nervous I was. Like, I remember when I went to direct Angela's show 911, and I knew she had put in a word for me. Like, she went to the producers and she said, I have a friend that's a director. I'd like for you to give her an opportunity. Huge. I mean, she did that for me. Yeah. So I didn't want to let her down. I didn't want to let the show down, right? So I prepared my butt off. You know, I worked hard to break down that script, come up with my shot list and do all the things, but I was still insecure. And I was still afraid, and I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, and the confidence grew as I got a chance to do it more. But I remember that first day I had a big production meeting, my first big production meeting, and I was so afraid. I walked to that conference room and I looked through the window and I saw that big long table full of people, and I saw that there was a seat at the head of that table that they were saving for me. And I looked and I backed up, girl. I literally backed up and I ran into the bathroom and I looked in the mirror, Kelley, and I literally had tears in my eyes. I felt like I was getting anxiety. I was nervous. I had to take a dump. You ever so nervous you got to take a shit? Yes. Like, I swear, like, that's how nervous I was. And I was like, what if they don't like my ideas? What if they don't like what I have to say? What if I fail? And I just went through this whole thing, and I literally had to encourage myself in that moment to say, you prepared. You are clear about this story. You are clear about the story you want to tell. You know these ideas you have. You research, you work. And I gave them a lot of ideas for that episode because it was her character's origin episode where her fiance gets murdered and, you know, he's involved. Like, he got caught up. There were gangs and gang violence and all of this stuff. But I gave them so much information where they ended up changing aspects of the script because of the information I shared with them. And honestly, it's called Athena Begins. It was one of my favorite things that I directed. And it was one of my most scariest, insecure, fearful experiences. And I did it afraid. And sometimes you just got to do it afraid, and you got to trust your choices and trust your instrument and trust the preparation, you know, the way that you've prepared.
Yeah. It's one that, well, I mean, seriously, you have now done a lot of directing where I don't think you walk in the door scared anymore. And the table better be. You better be sitting at the head of it.
I'm always. I can't.
You're
even
always
tell
grateful.
You.
That's one thing I do know. You were always so grateful about everything. I mean, life related too, but work related. We'll talk every now and then. I'll get the luxury of FaceTiming her when she's acting and directing,
Yes.
one or the other, or both sometimes, and you are just so excited. You really, it's incredible. You're an inspiration to finding what you love and really doing it, because you do love acting.
I do.
And you love directing.
I do.
And you love coaching.
Yes.
And you love your downtime.
Yes, I love it all.
Yeah.
But can I tell you, it's almost, I thank God that I live in constant gratitude, because every time I get a job, I feel like a little girl, like it's the first job. Every job feels like it's the first job I ever had. And some people are like, well, haven't you done this before? Like, I have, but every time I get an opportunity, it's a new opportunity. It's a new experience I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
It's a new opportunity I get to grow, you know, like I have a Lifetime movie coming out, right?
Okay.
And it comes out April 19th, and it's called Desire. And it's a thriller, and it's so cool. And one of my friends, Derek Williams, is the producer of it, and he called me up, and he called me just to, you know, talk to me about some other actors that he was trying to hire for another film. And then he mentioned this other film he had, and he was looking for someone. And I heard the story. I said, well, what about me? He was like, really? Because he thought that I wouldn't want to do it. But I was like, I actually never got an opportunity to do that kind of story, you know, and to be that kind of character. And I would love the opportunity to do it, you know. And he was like blown away. But I was like nervous about it, because believe it or not, I've never been the star of the movie, like the number one, where it's all about me. I've been a part of incredible ensembles, but where it was literally like my movie. And that made me nervous. I was like, are people gonna like it? Am I gonna be able to carry it? You know, are they gonna love all the aspects of this character that I share with them, you know? So I worked really hard on it, and I hope people like it, you know what I'm saying?
So excited. You know, it's funny, it's as much as you can get to a place where people can see you and think, she's done it, like she's doing it. You still have those moments where you like, can I do it? Am I going to be good at it?
Yeah.
You know, we went back to just to go back a little bit about the acting school, I think it's really incredible that you get to mentor these people who look up to you, who see your career and who aspire to get to anywhere even close to where you are. And what I think they don't know is that when you're famous, when you finally become famous and you get there, you still don't feel like you're there. There's so much more for you to do.
Yes.
Like you still feel like you haven't, your name comes up. Funny thing is we didn't even touch on this, but one of the things about Tasha and I was funny is that I hadn't known her career, and now I do, and I feel stupid for not knowing.
Let's keep it 100. You didn't even know I was an actress, okay? Okay? Like, this is how out of the loop.
Yeah,
Kelley didn't know I was an actress.
No.
She didn't know I was a director.
Nope.
And to be honest, if we could keep it real, you really didn't even know that people actually knew me.
No idea.
Until we went to see a play.
Yeah.
We went to see a play, okay? And Miss Tina Knoll.
That's exactly what happened. Wait, like, so back up. That happened, and I almost had a heart attack. But walking up the street, people were calling out her name, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Tasha Smith, Miss Smith, Tasha Smith. And I was like, oh, she must have had a movie one of these people watched. I was like, I didn't think.
Kelley was looking around like, what the hell is going on? It was so funny to me. But, like, first of all, I don't really think I'm that famous.
You're very famous.
Well, I don't really feel like that.
Obviously, y'all know. You're not watching me.
I don't. I don't. Like, I feel like I may be a little popular, but I have friends that are so much more famous than me. Like, I don't feel like I'm that famous, but I know people know me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And things like that. But it just cracked me up when Miss Tina came up. It's like, Tasha, hey. And she's talking to me about something about the acting school or something
she's putting
like that.
someone her stuff.
Yeah, she was sending people to the school.
Sending to the school.
Which I thought was so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Tina.
Yeah.
You know, so, but you were like, Beyonce's mama know you? Okay, you was like, Oh my God.
I know. And then Leslie Odom Jr., I was like, you know everybody.
Oh my God. It was hilarious.
Aaron Burr, I'm backstage with Aaron, like, what is going on here?
It was funny.
Yeah,
okay,
I was
it
like,
was so
you
funny.
are really famous, huh? She was like, yeah, bitch.
I was like, I mean, people know me a little bit, okay?
Google me. No, don't, because I got so nervous today when I Googled. No, I've since learned, I know she's famous. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Real talk. Do you ever find yourself oversharing to someone who really isn't qualified to help? Well, last week I found myself sharing my existential crisis with Oliver, my dog. And you know what he did? He stared at me, he blinked twice, and then he fell asleep. No emotional support. It was actually quite rude. That's when you need someone who can actually help, like a licensed therapist. No weird waiting rooms, no awkward small talk, just professional help when you actually need it, wherever you are. So if you're someone who has a weird schedule or travels a lot or just prefers to live your life in sweatpants, it's even better. BetterHelp has access to over 30,000 licensed therapists, and you can change your therapist at any time. So you don't get stuck with someone who, I don't know, stares at you, licks their foot, and then falls asleep. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/cook today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/cook. Now let's get back to the show. So one of the things, of course, because of your career and all the things you've done, you have a lot of people who look up to you. Like a ton of people look to you as a role model. Women of color, especially young black girls looking up thinking she did it. How does that feel? Does it change the roles you take? Does it change the way you present yourself? Do you know you're a role model? Do you own that? Or is that scary to you? Like, how does that sit?
You know, I mean, first of all, like, there are pressures with the idea of expectation of being a role model, because sometimes I feel like people will look and try to scrutinize and criticize everything that you do. So I don't necessarily say, oh, I'm a role model. No, I love people, like, naturally. I love people, and I care about people, and I care about people like me. What do I mean by that? People that may not have had everything easy. People that may have come up with a lot of abuse. People that may have had a lot of insecurities and fear in life. You know, people that feel like they're not good enough. Like, there are a lot of things that I identify with, you know, when it comes to that mindset. So I do want to be a motivation to people like me. I do want to encourage people, you know, honestly, to pursue their dreams and to trust their testimony and to know that their present situation is not going to determine what God has for them in their life. Like, it's exciting for me to see people living their dream. It's exciting for me to see people passionate about their life. Like, even you, like, pursuing your dream, doing what you're doing right now. I'm genuinely and excited for you. Like, teaching acting and helping other people. Do I think I'm the greatest actor? No. But am I a big time motivator? Am I a big time motivator?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if I could motivate someone else to get over the finish line in whatever area of their life is, I'm excited to see people win.
Yeah.
It's just a natural thing for me that comes easy. It's no pressure. It's not a burden or any of that.
Yeah.
It is just exciting. So is that a role model for some? Awesome. Great. Am I going to do some shit one day that's going to make you feel like I'm screwing up royally? Probably, because I understand humans, humanity. Like, we can't always get it right. That's why I feel like it's important for us to give ourselves grace. You know, give ourselves grace. And when you think about, we'll give people grace.
You do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But we have to give ourselves the same grace. We're not going to always get it right. We're going to make some mistakes, but we don't have to stay stuck in that mistake. We can get up and we can keep moving, and we can keep loving ourselves. We can be merciful with ourselves, and we can just take it one day at a time, period.
I think that you are wrong that you're ever going to screw up in a way that people are going to judge. I think we did that already. We're too old for that shit now. You're not doing anything anyone else is going to judge at this point. Let's hope not. I think it's got to be an incredible transition for you. You've done all of that. And I'm in awe of you, and you are so supportive of your friends in like every way possible. Go out of your way to show up for people. I mean, you showed up for me today. You got a million things going on. I think that it says a lot about who you are, and it's extremely important. And as we age, as we get older, I think it says a lot about who you are, the people you have in your corner, and the people you surround yourself with, because people do. They drop off on the way. No hard feelings. I have a lot of people who used to be, you said something before, I don't remember how you said it, but there are fillers. There's people that take up our time and want to fill up our time. It's like, for a second, we need to take a step back.
Yes.
We need to fill ourselves up. And it does.
Yeah.
We are 50 now.
Yeah, but you know what, Kelley? And that's why, like, you and I are a lot alike, because you are the same. And I remember, just to go back to when I moved into my place in New York, and I was starting work, and I had like a 2-week window before I could get into my apartment, my condo. They were like fixing it up, right? Who let me stay at their place while they were on vacation for 2 weeks?
But you would do the same.
But still, like, everyone does not do that. Like, you gave me your beautiful condo for 2 weeks for free while you were on vacation in Italy.
You Zelled me or Venmo'd me or something.
I just wanted to.
She was like,
I just wanted to give you a little, just a little spending money. You know what I mean?
That's what she said. She'd buy some wine.
I was just like, go buy some wine and a good meal, because I knew you would not take anything from me.
No.
I knew you wouldn't do it, so I had to literally Zell you without you knowing and threatening you, like, if you even think about sending it back.
Okay, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. And doesn't it feel good to be a blessing?
It does.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like people should probably intentionally look to be a blessing more than they look to be blessed. Because to me, you end up being blessed if you're a blessing. It comes back, it just does.
Yeah.
So I thank God. So part of my blessing that came back was you allowing me to stay in your place for 2 weeks.
Oh, thank you.
I love you.
It was fun to have you here.
It was great.
So clearly it goes without saying that your career is amazing. You've accomplished a lot. You have a lot more to come. There's a lot more you're going to be doing. That said, there's a part of my show, a segment called Things That Happen After 50. So we're going to talk about this.
Ooh, girl, let's go.
Well, we're not going to get into the nitty gritty. But how do you feel it's affected your career turning 50?
I feel like I am getting better with time. Like, I feel like I'm at the best version of myself. I feel like where I am now and who I am now as a woman is actually going to be a good thing for my career. I feel like I'm a better director. I feel like I'm growing into a better actress. I feel like I'm a better friend. I'm a better human. And so I have some serious expectation for things to be better. Like my friend Bevy Smith always says, it gets greater later. And then there's the scripture that says your latter days will be greater than your beginning. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like my career is like born again and like it's revived. I feel like I'm just starting over, especially in my acting career. Like, I'm excited about this new version of who I am, in front of the camera and behind the camera. And I'm just expecting for things to go all the way up. Okay? I'm serious, sis.
But your inspiration, it's just like to be around your energy. And I don't know if you can clock it from on camera, but to be in the room with you, it's like you exude happiness and positivity. And girl, when she doesn't, she doesn't.
Hey!
There is a flip side.
You better know.
But it's
those that know, know.
Yeah, they didn't forget. But it's rare. It is rare. You are 99% of the time you are having coffee at the same energy at 5 a.m. as you are when you get home from work, when you walk in there. You are, but it's blessed. It's because you know, and like you carry it with you. I envy that. Look, I'm spiritual. I believe in God. I know that there's a path. I never ran to anything in my life. If I'm supposed to be there, I'm there. If I'm late for it, means it wasn't for me.
Yes.
But you have a faith that drips. I really do. I feel it on you. Like I feel when you say something's going to happen or you believe in something, I believe in it. And I think being in the room with you, amazing. You do, you bring it to camera and you bring it to work and you can see it in your acting and you can see it. You're passionate, but to be in the room and to feel the energy that you exude is just amazing. It's an amazing.
Oh, sis,
you're
you.
a powerful woman and you give off such generosity in just being in your presence,
Honestly,
because you could take over a room, Tasha. But you give love to the room. There is no...
isn't that like a gift? Like,
yes.
I just, especially, Kel, when you think about like what the world is going through right now, people are in a lot of pain. People are already hurt. We don't have to add to people's pain. I'd rather be an addition of joy to someone's life than negativity. Like, I don't like... being an asshole. I don't want to be an asshole.
You don't gossip either, by the way. You know what? I was just thinking about that. I can't call you up and talk shit. We talk about real stuff.
Yeah.
You're not a gossiper.
To me, it's more productive. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of salacious stuff going on in the world, but do we have to give energy to that? Like, spiritual practice is important to me, like prayer, meditation, feeding your mind with good stuff. There's a
shopping,
scripture.
good food.
Oh, girl.
Sorry, I gotta bring it back to the real stuff.
That is something that we do have in common. Okay.
Food and shopping we have in common.
We love food. It's so funny because when I got here, you were like, you want me to make you some eggs? And I said, Kelley still can't cook. Okay.
I can order in some eggs though.
But oh my God. And that's like even food. Let's just talk about food, and friendship, right?
Talk about it.
Like, to me, it's like the fellowship of making a great meal or having a great meal with your friends that you love. Like, you and I connect over good food, good wine, and great clothes. Don't we? Like,
100%.
we get so excited. You get so excited.
I want to say things now. I'm like, shut up, Kelley, let Tasha talk.
Because tell me, sis, because I literally will wake up to you sending me what the new hottest thing is. Like, a lot of stuff in my closet right now is because of you introducing me to these brands.
I love clothes. And so on this, I always wear button-ups and jeans. But I have a much wider selection of clothing, and I love clothes. And I love knowing what looks good on somebody else. And one of the things in our friendship is I'm like, we have a very similar aesthetic.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this will look great on her. But you're taller than I am, bigger than I am, bigger boobs than me. You wouldn't tell. But
I know I got a lot of titty. Okay,
I got no titty.
Some of that.
I got a floor plan. They're going to come in or they're not. Mine didn't come. My niece said that when she was a kid, she was a baby. She said her boobs hurt, and my brother, I think it was my brother, or my sister said that you don't have any boobs. That's just the floor plan. They're either going to come or they're not going to come. One of the things about you, again, is she will call and be like, and she does it with her other friends. She's like, Thanksgiving's coming. Can I send you a turkey? Or I'm over here, can I send you a box of crabs? It's like, what? She's like, I'm in this place and they specialize in this kind of weird cheese. Can I send you cheese? And it's like, what are you doing?
I swear that's my love language.
Yeah.
Honestly, my love language is food. It really is. Like, tell me.
So, do you remember, her and I, Tasha and I went to lunch. Do you remember the size of our bill when we went to Laura that day?
We sat there for 10 hours. I felt like we had 2 meals.
We
started with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, girl.
Yeah.
We were there so long.
All
we
day.
just kept reordering food.
But we were still drinking and fine. That's another thing.
Oh my God.
I have to say, we do have a very good tolerance. If I could speak for both of us.
I want Laura today, as a matter of fact. I'm so hungry.
Laura, there's a lot of good stuff.
Oh my God. I think I want that today.
Okay.
But wait, it was something I was going to tell you about food. Like,
tell me.
Because like when I find something good to eat, and you're the same way, right? Like this turkey, it's this place where they do the smoked turkey, like in Memphis, or and the turkey, and I don't even eat turkey anymore, but when I ate turkey, it was the best smoked turkey that I ever had. So every year I want to gift that turkey to my close friends so that they could enjoy it. And not only that,
I have a new one.
What? Tell me.
I have a new one. I have a melon, the crown melon. I'm going to gift all my friends. Yeah, because I gifted it to On Again, Off Again. And it's a $200 melon from Japan.
What?
Yes. Bethany Frankel had it on. And apparently, I haven't had it yet. On Again, Off Again had it. He said it's insane.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm going to gift you a melon.
Okay, well, I want the melon.
Yeah.
But, okay, and let me tell you what I love to do, right? I love cooking. And when I cook, you would think I was cooking for a football team.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will cook so much food that I will call up my friends and say, like, my friend Terrace Martin, who's my bro and one of the best jazz musicians in the world as far as I'm concerned. But Terrace, I love cooking for Terrace and his family. Like, I'll cook food and be like, come over and get some food for you and for your wife and your kid. And I just love when people come to my house and they enjoy eating that food, and then like sending them home with to-go packages. And during the pandemic, sis, I would literally cook so much food because I just enjoyed it.
You cook all the time.
Like,
actually.
I love it. And I was sitting food outside for people.
You helped me the other day. Remember, you called right when I was trying to do the chicken.
Oh yeah, you was like, how do I season this chicken? What do I do to this chicken?
I'm trying to learn how to cook, but I still can't cook. And Tasha called, or I can't remember, no, you called me. And I was just staring at this plain chicken. I was like, salt? I was very white about it. I was like, I'll just put salt on it. Tasha's like, no, you got to put this in the paprika and the Worcestershire, and then I put it in the back. And I did it. And I let it sit.
Was it good?
It was amazing. I marinated and ate it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to put anything on it.
And you did it overnight.
I did it overnight.
Yeah.
So I still cook a little.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I just started back eating meat again, like eating lamb and steak. And I didn't know what to do with the lamb. I had forgotten how to do it. And I called Sidra. I called my sister and I was like, Sidra, how do you do lamb again? And she gave me this marinade, girl. And I mean, it is so good. I actually made some for Terrace.
Okay.
He didn't even eat lamb. He didn't like lamb.
I don't like
He was
lamb.
like, your lamb doesn't even taste like gamey or anything like that. But literally, I will marinate the lamb. But you know what my key ingredient is to all the things I marinate? Agave.
You know what I was going to say? Because that's what you told me. I was going to say honey, which is not agave, but it's close.
But I love adding a little sweet. I just love sweet. Like, I love a little sweet, savory in all my food.
What do you mix that's weird? You put something together that's funny. What was it? God, what do I got to think about? What's the thing you get on the side? Red sauce? What do you put in red sauce? What do you put in pasta?
Oh, I put agave. Or if I don't have agave and I'm at a restaurant. Oh God, I hate to say this. I put Splenda.
Splenda, that's exactly
stevia.
Right. She puts
or Truvia,
but it's really good. That's right. She was like,
I can't
remember
eat
going
pasta
out. You like
without it being sweet.
Weird shit she doing. And
literally, when I go to Italy,
delicious.
Sis, they hate me in Italy.
Of course, they hate you in Italy.
I get cussed out by every chef in Italy. Trust me, I get cussed out when I put sweetness in my pasta.
They must just hold their pearls and be like, "What is this woman doing?"
I'm not even playing. I've gotten cussed out in Italian. Oh my God,
that's why they hate Americans. It's your fault. Yeah, that's the only reason. That's stevia. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Cooking for friends, feeding friends. My favorite dish is the garlic crab. You know that. I love cooking.
But I've seen
and you haven't had it.
No.
But I've made it for Elaine and Dave.
Yes.
And Donnell.
You've cooked in Ohio and I've missed it.
Yes,
right?
and you've missed it. One time I cooked for the whole family. I made like my garlic crab, garlic noodles. Yes. Everyone was there. I made like a huge thing.
Sorry. Who was there? Almost everyone?
Except you.
See what happens? She's all big and fancy now. She forgets about me.
But I love going there to cook, and I love cooking for Dave and Elaine. I love it. Okay, love it.
They're both actually very good cooks.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike me. I can't. But, okay, so the other thing we want to talk about being over 50 is, and a powerful woman in Hollywood, dating.
Girl,
dating is weird after 50. I know.
Weird.
I know more than anyone else.
I know.
It's a good question,
you know
though.
what? It's fun.
It's
fun, sis. You don't really date that much.
I don't date at all.
You don't really date because you got on again, off again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Stuck again.
I think dating is fun. And I'll say this too about, I understand now, and I don't think I ever talked about this, but when you get over 50, the hormone replacement therapy is a real thing.
We've talked about this.
Okay, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And when you start getting the testosterone and the estrogen, honey, you get horny as
it's insane.
Like, the horniness is real.
Real.
I feel like I am enjoying dating and sex more in my 50s than I ever did.
I hear this. So I hear that. I hear this. Poor Kelley here. I hear this. But it's because you're comfortable saying what you want. right? Like you're more comfortable saying what you need and you want in a relationship, sexually, romantically. The testosterone and the estrogen
is not a joke.
I don't think girls, women, ever are that horny until they're in their 50s on the replacement. I don't think we have it like, we say like a teenage boy.
Yes.
That's not a joke.
No, I'm serious.
No one says we're horny as a teenage girl.
You find these cougars out here. You know how they call women cougars or whatever? Or how like older women dating younger guys? Well, I swear, people have no idea how exciting it is sexually in your 50s. Like it is so much fun. Like it is like amazing. And I just say for all the girls that are in their 30s, if they think they're having a good time, wait until you get in your 50s.
Wait till
you're gonna have the best time of your life.
Bed breaking sex.
Trust me, bed breaking sex. Okay. No, like seriously, like
so your 60s when it's back breaking sex.
Oh my God. Okay, until it's back breaking sex.
When I first got crazy, when I went crazy on the testosterone, when I was doing my transition, if you haven't seen the episode, go back and watch it. But when my levels got so high, I was crazy.
Yes.
I was doing some things that I should not, and I was on again, off again. We're not together.
Right.
So there were some, there's some Uber drivers who enjoyed the ride. That's all I'm saying.
Stop it, sis.
You know who you are.
Stop it.
Yeah. And I tipped.
I swear, that's so funny. I remember.
Do you remember my masseuse story?
Listen, I was about to bring up, but see, these are experiences I never had. Like, I had a friend coming over. I said, I have this massage company that's coming over to do massages. And she said, well, oh, do you get a happy ending? And I was like, a happy ending? I said, in a massage? I was like, no. And she was like, why? And I was like, because I just want a massage, but I didn't know that it was a real thing. Like,
you want so much more after 50.
But wait, but I've never done it. I'd be too uncomfortable. And I told her, if you let the massage company that I use give you a happy ending, I'm gonna kill you, because I use them all the time, and they're called manly hands. And they're called manly hands.
Jesus.
And she was
They're
like, well, manly
to touch
hands.
something.
She was like, manly hands don't give a happy ending. I was like, stop. No, okay? And don't embarrass me, please. I have this one friend, right, that was telling me how there's actually an app that you can like get erotic massages, and like that happy endings it's like a job. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea, sis. I'm not even gonna lie.
There is a massage, an actual massage that you can get that is an oil body-to-body massage where you can get someone to come to your house, get completely naked while you're naked, and they massage you with their actual body. It's a real thing, and I don't remember what it's called. I've never had that, though I have, in fact, had more than one happy ending. And one ended up happier for him than for me. But that's when the testosterone was really high. The best part about it, I'm just going to finish this one part. So anyway, I have this app for massages, and I use the app, and I have my housekeeper in one bedroom with the dog packing me, and I'm like, let me just have it in the bedroom, and so we're not in the space, and I won't hear anybody. But I don't think anything's weird about having a massage separate closed door in the bedroom. I don't think it.
Right.
The guy comes, handsome guy, testosterone's at sky high levels where the wind is getting you off, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's like every little moment. And so that was happening. And sure enough, one thing led to another, and we ended up, we had sex in my room. He leaves, and and a few weeks later, I'm on the phone with On Again, Off Again, and he said something about my massages, and I go, what? And he said, well, he said, you had a couple massages last week, and I only did it once with this one person. I never used the same person again. And I said, how do you know I had a couple massages last week? And he's like, because I pay for them. They're on my Amex. And I go, you're out of your mind. It's on my Amex. And what had happened was I pay for the monthly membership, but he pays for the individual massage. And I was like, well, I think I need to tell you something. And I told him the story, and he's like, okay, wait a second. I paid for you to have sex in the apartment I pay for?
Oh my God.
I was like, you're the best ex-boyfriend ever. And we never talked about it again, mind you, but that's a true story. Anyway, testosterone goes through the roof. Hormones
it's
are crazy.
Insane.
So dating after 50 you think is great. Okay,
it's fun. Honestly, it is so much fun.
Right.
I'm actually having a very good time in my 50s.
Good.
Dating.
Yeah, I need to try that.
So,
yeah, I've heard
yes.
about it. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm kidding. I don't date, but I had dated 2 years ago when I was still in my 50s because I was 51. What do you think then, as a woman now, where you are, powerful woman in your 50s, what advice would you give to other women who aren't as comfortable, aren't getting, like, what do you think we should, because people are afraid at our age to date. They think it's like, they're too old or they're too set in their ways. I mean, it is hard, I think, to fix your schedule around someone else at this age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You really got to be special or fit into the spaces where I have time.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you have any advice for people, for women who aren't here yet, who are on their way?
There is this saying, as a man believes in his heart, so is he, right? As you believe in your heart, so are you, right? And I think that we have to be as optimistic as possible about life, about relationship. Because if I sit and I'm meditating on the idea, it's going to be very hard, it's going to be difficult, things are not going to work out, then I end up manifesting that, right? But I like to be optimistic and believe the best. And like even on my email, it says, live in expectation of great things. And so I rather be excited about the possibilities of it being a lot of great opportunity out there, in my 50s when it comes to dating. I feel like I'm just beginning. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we should take on the world's idea that as you get older, you're not attractive, you're not wanted, you're not. No, I actually feel more beautiful in my 50s than I did in my 30s or in my 40s. I look at pictures back then and I'm like, I look at myself now and I'm like, wow, I feel really, really good. So I tend to be more optimistic about the possibilities because that's how I choose to live my life, in faith that I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna get it. It's the same when it comes to acting. People have an idea that, after you turn 50, it's gonna be more difficult to get jobs. No, I don't wanna look at life like that. I don't wanna look at my career like that. I'd rather live my life with joy. Faith brings me joy. Fear or lack or meditating on the possibilities of things not happening in my life.
You can't even put that in your head.
It's depressing. Like, why do I want to live like that? I'd rather wake up with this idea of something good's going to happen, as opposed to.
You vibe that every minute of your life. You have that energy all the time. It's an incredible, it's contagious, thank God. But you do have that, you exude that.
It's
all
intentional.
the time. One of the things that's so incredible when you believe in the power of the laws of attraction and giving it to God and that trust it, like meditate on it and trust it, manifest it, is that, people say all the time, it's like planting a seed, right? And once you plant it, we don't go back and dig in to see if there's anything growing. You just wait for it to grow.
Good analogy.
So we need to do the same thing. When I knew, like just the apartment, I knew I was keeping this apartment. There was no gray area. It happened. But sometimes when I am not sure about something, it gets more and more iffy because I'm digging in to see if the seed is growing. Of course, I'm killing the seed again.
Exactly.
Then I got to bury it back up, water it, hope.
Yes.
Like, it's really important when you take the chance, going back to we talked about earlier, but when you take the chance and you take a chance on yourself and you believe in yourself, it's imperative that you just trust it's going to happen. Do the work. Yeah. Don't just sit back and go, I'm going to be rich. That's just not going to happen. Yeah. You got to take the motivated steps to get where you want to go. You went to class. You were already an actor, but you went to class to learn how to direct. You probably knew 99% of what you sat down and learned, but you learned that 1% that made it excellent.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
You need to take the steps. And I think that is something imperative that we do. We should do with all of the relationships in our lives, all the things we want. I don't sit back and hope for things. You got to know what's going to happen, ask for it, believe you're going to get it. You know, if God is who you believe in, people have other things. God, ask for it and receive it. You got to believe it, but you got to put the work in.
You do, but if you have faith in it, you'll be motivated to pursue it. Yeah. Because I feel like faith is a motivator.
I didn't have a doubt that this is what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I wasn't concerned if I'm going to make money off of it. I can't be doing it for that. But I knew that this is what I was supposed to be doing, and I love every minute of it. And if it wasn't for the people around me like you that supported me through it, I just never had a doubt that this is exactly what I was supposed to be doing. So I think
it's natural.
Yeah, it feels really natural.
Like, it's natural. Like, you love talking to people. You love information. You love learning. You love all of it. And so I really do believe that this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. So this leads me to what I was going to come up with anyway. I was going to talk about my biggest regret, my biggest accomplishment, and what I'm looking forward to doing. So my biggest regret, I think, possibly was a relationship I had once. I don't know, regret's a hard word to use. My biggest accomplishment is this, naturally, doing this. It's incredible. I'm super excited about it. What I hope to do is I hope to write a book, write a TV show, write a movie, all directed by you. And starting, you can be the Black Kelley. You can play me in the movie, TV version, whatever you want. What about you? What is your biggest regret, biggest accomplishment, and what do you want to do next?
Well, one, you know that you and I have the same testimony as far as like high school, like not finishing high school. And that was something that I used to feel very ashamed of, and I used to feel very insecure about, but that was just the path that my life was on, and God still made something out of nothing as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have anything that I was probably most likely not to succeed. For my life to be where it is now, it is a blessing. And I don't even regret that, though. I don't regret that path because
it's a big word, right? It's a big word, regret. Yeah.
That path got me here, to be honest. It really did. And everything that could look like a regret, sis, was like the best blessing and lesson, an area of growth in my life. I cannot even begin to tell you, okay? The most fearful moments of my life has been the moments that have given me the most incredible lessons and the most incredible strength. I can't even tell you. And at the time, I may have looked at it like, oh my God, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But now looking back, I'm like, thank you, God, for teaching me that and showing me that and me growing from that. Because if you don't grow from the mistakes or the things we may consider a regret, then that's a problem. But when there's growth in every lesson, I feel like, thank God for it. You feel me? Honestly, sis, I am looking forward to, continuing to produce more, direct more, create and develop more. I just love it. Getting behind the camera as a director has helped me go into writing and developing, and, my production company, that Camden Bridge, that I'm launching soon. And I'm just excited about all the possibilities in this business of entertainment, because I love it. And I am so thankful I get to be here and do the things I'm doing.
There is an edge to you that I don't think everyone sees immediately, because you exude this bubbly thing that I definitely do not have. I think that there is there's a softness that everybody sees in this excitement, but then there's that other side of you, because of all the things that we did when we were younger, that leave that little bit of grit in there, and I think people find it surprising. Okay, so we've covered a lot about getting older, and a segment in my show is called Hot Flashes. So I'm going to throw some questions at you, and as quick as you can answer them, but are going to be really wordy because I know you, just shoot me the answers, and I'm going to shoot you some questions. You run with all these famous people. You're best friends with Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige, me. Is there anyone who you still get starstruck over?
I'm proud of my friends, right? Like, I can't say that I'm starstruck as much as I'm in awe of, they motivate me, their professionalism, their integrity. Like when I think of Janet and like Angela and Mary, like, you can't become that famous.
These names.
Right?
These names. This is the thing with her. Like, I'll be on the phone with her, and this girl will be like, Kel, I gotta go. It's Jan calling. And I'm like, what? Janet fucking Jackson is calling you? I'm like, I gotta go. Jesus is calling me. She's got all the famous friends. This crazy
But
girl.
you know what? Like, people like Jan, like, really motivate me, because She has so much integrity and so much professionalism. You know, as an artist, like you learn from being around people like her and Angela, like just their work ethic and their integrity. And for me, it inspires me and it motivates me to be my best self. You know, I want my friends, all of you guys, to be proud of me and how I show up, my work ethic, my professionalism, being prepared, being on time. Like that's what you get. I'm in awe of that. I'm in awe of getting that out of these relationships because it's almost like they're friends, but also mentors, you know, people that I can learn from, and looking at their life, I can grow from. And that's the blessing of the friendship.
Some of the people you run with, some of the people, your famous friends, I've had the luxury of meeting some of them with you, but then I was in London with some of our other friends, and I was at a bar and I was sitting with Janet Jackson, and at one point we reached in to go for the same French fry and our hands touched.
Yes.
And I swear to God there was sparks. I was like, I just fucking touched Janet Jackson. And then I had to say something to her, and she had on what I knew was a Rick Owen jacket. And I was like, that's a really great Rick Owen jacket.
Yeah.
And I did that, it's Janet Jackson. And she like smiled at me and said something sweet. I think she loves me. But it was a moment that I was like, it's fucking Janet Jackson. So the fact that she's like, Jan's calling, like, the fuck out of here, it's Janet Jackson.
She is magical. And this show in Vegas, girl,
I know,
people
I've
need to
heard
go to this show in Vegas.
I mean, I hear
her
it's
Vegas
amazing.
show is sick. It is so amazing. It's just amazing how she just, I mean, it's almost like she's just constantly just on this high level of entertainment. I mean, I'm in awe watching her. I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
Because I know her, and then I look at her on stage and I'm like, wow.
It's incredible.
It's, I mean, incredible.
Yeah, I really need to see the show. Like, I have to go.
You have
I
to.
have to. No, like, I have to go to the show, but I can't meet her because I will die. Like, I will literally die.
So Taraji came when we went to the show in Vegas.
B. Henson, she saw
right.
Angela Bassett.
Taraji, she is, that's
Mary
her
J.
girl.
Blige.
But listen, but wait, Taraji is so bad. Like the first fight, she and I almost got into, like seriously, I was like ready to kick Taraji's ass. We go to get facials at Mamie's. Our friend Mamie, Skin by Mamie, who we get our facials from. And whenever I go to Mamie's to get my facial, my auntie mama, Pemwa, she'll make food. She made me some sea bass and some collard greens, right? She always say, baby girl, what you want? I say, auntie mama, I want some collard greens and I want some sea bass. Okay, so I tell Taraji, auntie mama's gonna make us some sea bass and some collard greens when we go get our facial, right? But she always makes extra so I could take some home because I love leftovers and I love eating leftovers for breakfast. So Taraji eats, we eat, it's all good, and I'm like trying to hide some to take home. I put this sea bass, this is so silly, but I put the sea bass in a Ziploc baggie because they didn't have anything to go. So I put my collard greens and my sea bass in a Ziploc baggie, Kel.
In the car.
And so in the car. So we get in the car, we got all our stuff. I had given Taraji some collard greens, but I had my sea bass tucked aside. And so as soon as we get in the car, we drive, and Taraji's like, where the sea bass? Where the sea bass? I said, you ate your portion. Okay. I'm like, my sea bass is here. She was like, yours? I thought you said that Auntie Mama was making us both. I thought it was for us. Now it's yours. At first it was ours. Now it's mine. Share some of that damn sea bass. I was like, it ain't enough. And then she took the sea bass,
sure
girl,
did.
and she ran into that damn hotel room. I was like, Taraji, get your black ass back here. And she ran into that damn hotel and took the sea bass. Girl, I must have, it took me 3 days to get over that.
Because you're over it now. You are so not over it now.
And then Taraji, yesterday I'm talking to Taraji, and I say, guess what? I said, Auntie Mama cooked for me and made me some damn sea bass.
You called me and you were like, she left the car with it. And I sat there waiting. You were thinking she was going to come back. You sat there literally hoping she was playing a joke on you. You were like, who steals a woman's sea bass?
Oh my God.
Taraji and the
Anyway,
sea bass.
where did I, where
we
were
ran over.
We ran over.
So here,
okay.
all right, so here's another one. We're doing hot flashes. That was
yes.
If you could work with any 3 actors, dead or alive, who would it be?
I wish that I had gotten a chance to do more with Cicely Tyson before she passed, honestly. I mean, we had one moment in Why Did I Get Married, but it was such a quick moment, but I wish I could have done more with her, honestly, because she's such a gem. And honestly, I would love to act with Angela Bassett, Marianne Jean-Baptiste. Like, I would love to be able to do a movie with them. Like, I would love it. I would love it. It would just be so much fun. And I would love to do something else. Honestly, I know Taraji and I did Empire, but I would love to do a big comedy with Taraji. Like, she makes me laugh so hard that I would love for us to do that. I mean, there are so many people. I would love to work with so many people. So I want to work with Dave. I want to work with Dave as a director and as an actor.
Yeah.
But they're just, I want to work with Viola. I want to work with Regina King. I want to work with Regina Hall. I mean, it's so many fascinating actors that we have in our industry. Michaela Cole. Oh my God. It's just so many. I feel like every Black woman in Hollywood I want to work with, and I want to work with, the white girls too, like a Kate Blanchett and Nicole Kidman. They're just brilliant. Meryl Streep, just brilliant.
You're going to hate this next question. So if there was any one film that you weren't a part of that you would like to be a part of, either acting or directing, or if they did an adaptation, what film would it be that you'd want to work on?
As a little girl, honestly, two of the movies that changed my life that I wish I could act in and direct, and that was Lady Sings the Blues and Mahogany. Like, two of my favorite movies. And oh my God, Diana Ross was just so brilliant. And looking at her in Lady Sings the Blues is one of the reasons I wanted to be an actor so badly. Like, watching her, I just thought she was so brilliant and so raw and so wonderful. And I thought the movie was just beautifully done.
So whenever they do a remake, like they do these movies that they shouldn't touch, like those are definitely two movies they should not touch.
Oh my God. And Claudine.
Yeah. I love
Claudine.
I love
like,
Claudine.
I would love to remake Claudine. Like, if I could have been there, it's just such a great movie that made me so excited about acting and about directing. And, oh my God, Gloria. Oh my God. Like, that's a one that I wish I could have been in a remake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gloria. Oh God.
Okay, quick ones. LA or New York?
Both.
Okay.
I want both.
Favorite decade clothing?
I love the 80s, sis.
Love the 80s. Worst decade of clothing?
90s.
The 90s was nothing. The 90s was just trying to not be the 80s. Favorite TV show of all time?
One of my favorite shows that I was obsessed with, I mean loved, that I got a chance to direct is Mayor of Kingstown. I just I love Jeremy Renner, always was a fan. Taylor Sheridan, I'm just a fan of I feel like from him going from actor to acting teacher to big time writer, director, producer, oh my God. Like, I just love where his career's gone. I was a fan of Mayor of Kingstown. I loved it. I love Jeremy in it. I love the world that Taylor created. And then I got a chance to direct it. Love. But if I go back to old school TV shows, Sanford and Son.
Favorite song?
I'm going to say one of my favorite songs would be the Isley Brothers' Summer Breeze.
Okay, so talking about the next chapter of your life. 3 words that describe this upcoming chapter of your life.
Fearless, bold, and cutting edge.
Ooh, look at you with that compound word. I was in that day high school. I don't know what else to say except for thank you, and I love you so much, and I'm so excited about this.
You are one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Like, I just love and adore you.
I'm really excited.
And I'm happy to be here.
I love and adore you, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. You have a ton of shit coming up. Everyone pay attention to Tasha Smith. She's a rock star. She's amazing, and she's way more than you're getting here. If you ever find yourself lucky enough to be in a room with her, you're truly blessed. She's one of a kind. Thank you so much for coming, Tasha, and thank you guys for tuning in, and cannot wait to see you on the next episode of Still Can't Cook. Hey guys, thank you so much for showing up for another episode of Still Can't Cook. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, on YouTube or any other podcast provider. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, please follow us at Still Can't Cook. Love to have you guys back every week. So happy that you joined us and look forward to seeing you next week.